This is a Laugenstange. In Germany, this is not a snack. This is just what is on the table. At the office, at the bakery, at your grandmother's house on a Tuesday afternoon for no particular reason. In America, this would come in a gift basket. It would have a label that says artisan. It would cost $9. Today we are going to talk about snacks, specifically the snacks that every German grows up with, takes completely for granted, and then moves to America and realizes do not exist here. Not in a close enough way. Hallo, willkommen, welcome back to German American Life and Vibes, the channel where we celebrate everything wonderful, weird, and occasionally deeply confusing about life between Germany and America. I am your host. I grew up in Germany. I know what a real snack looks like, and today I am going to introduce you to 6 of them. These are sweet, some are savory. One of them involves lard, and before you make a face, I need you to stay with me because I promise it is worth it. 6 snacks, 0 apologies. Let us go. We start with the pretzel, but not the pretzel you know. The pretzel Americans know is a stadium snack. It is the size of a steering wheel. It comes with a plastic container of bright yellow cheese sauce that I will not comment on further. The German pretzel, the Brezel, is something else entirely. It is chewy and soft on the inside, dark and glossy and slightly crispy on the outside, with a specific alkaline flavor from the lye bath it is dipped in before baking. It has coarse salt crystals on top that crack when you bite them. The Laugenstange is the stick version. Same dough, same lye bath, same salt, just in a long, snackable form that you eat walking out of the bakery, or on the way to work, or standing at the kitchen counter while you read the morning news. And the Butterbrezel, a fresh, warm Brezel, sliced open and buttered, is one of the great simple pleasures of German life. You eat it for breakfast. You eat it as a mid-morning snack. There is no wrong time. Americans, I am telling you this as a friend. The pretzel you have been eating is a very pale imitation of something extraordinary. Find a German bakery. Get a Butterbrezel. You can thank me later. Yes, Haribo exists in America. Definitely they're gummy bears. I know. I have seen it at Target. This is not the same thing. German Haribo and American Haribo are technically the same brand. They are not the same product. The German version is firmer, more intensely flavored, and less aggressively sweet. The American version has been adjusted for the American palate, which, and I say this gently, prefers things sweeter than they need to be. But the bigger difference is cultural. In Germany, Haribo is not a treat. It is not a special occasion. It is just in a bowl on the coffee table. Always. Without discussion. I want to talk about something that shaped my entire childhood. The Milchschnitte. For those who do not know, the Milchschnitte is a Ferrero product. 2 thin sponge cake layers with a thick, creamy, milk-based filling in the middle. It comes individually wrapped. It is soft and sweet and absolutely delicious. It was also marketed to German children, and I mean relentlessly marketed, as a healthy snack. The slogan essentially was, "It is mostly milk. Milk is good for you. Therefore, this is good for you." This logic is creative. But we were children. We did not question it. We just ate them. Every German kid had a Milchschnitte in their Pausenbrot, their school snack. It was non-negotiable. It was practically a food group. Does it exist in America? No. Could it exist in America? Absolutely. All right, we are entering more adventurous territory. Leberwurst, liver sausage, spreadable, on bread. I can already hear the Americans in the comments, but stay with me. In Germany, Leberwurst is a completely normal everyday snack. You take a slice of dark rye bread, ideally still slightly warm. You spread Leberwurst on it generously, and sometimes you add a thin slice of pickle on top. That is it. That is the snack. It is rich. It is savory. It is deeply satisfying in the way that only something made mostly from pork fat and liver can be. In America, liver-based foods have an image problem. They sound unpleasant. They sound old-fashioned. They sound like something your great-uncle eats while watching old war films. In Germany, it sounds like Tuesday. There are also many varieties. Feine Leberwurst, grobe Leberwurst, with herbs, with truffles. It is not one thing. It is a category, a celebrated category. I understand this is a hard sell. I am making it anyway. At least try it once. And speaking of things that require an open mind, Schmalzbrot, bread with lard. That is it. That is the snack. Bread spread with lard, sometimes with a little salt and a raw onion ring on top. Now before you close this video, in Bavaria, my home, we take this even further. We have Griebenschmalz. That is lard rendered with small pieces of fried pork crackling mixed through it, sometimes with onion and apple for flavor. It is served in little ceramic pots. It is eaten at the Biergarten. It is one of the things that Bavarians are privately quite smug about. Griebenschmalz on fresh bread with a cold mass of beer is, and I will stand by this, one of the finest simple eating experiences available to a human being. I understand that lard in a pot does not sound glamorous, but glamour is overrated. This is honest food. This is food that has been eaten for centuries by people doing hard physical work. And it tastes exactly like that. Substantial, satisfying, completely real. The Americans have avocado toast. We have Griebenschmalz. Butter spreads on bread. Only one of them has been doing it for 500 years. And finally, something that Americans do not have, and which I find genuinely baffling that they do not have. Rote Grütze. Rote Grütze is a cold dessert or snack, it depends on the context, made by cooking red summer fruits, strawberries, raspberries, cherries, red currants, sometimes blackberries, with a little sugar and a starch to thicken it slightly. You serve it cold, with cream poured over the top, or vanilla sauce, or sometimes just with milk. It is the color of a sunset. It tastes like every good summer simultaneously. This is a standard, everyday, unremarkable summer snack in northern Germany. You can buy it in any supermarket. It is served at family meals. Children eat it after school. In America, where a dessert of summer berries with cream would be received as a masterpiece, this does not exist as a cultural concept. You have fruit salad. You have parfait. You do not have this. I think about this more than is probably reasonable. Germany just has a cold fruit compote situation, quietly perfect, that the rest of the world has not discovered. And that is fine. More for us. 6 snacks. A pretzel that is not what you think it is. Gummy bears that are infrastructure. A childhood lie about milk. Live on bread. Lard in a pot from a Biergarten in Bavaria. And summer fruit in a bowl that tastes like everything good about July. None of these are exotic. None of these are complicated. They are all just food that Germans eat, completely without thinking about it, because this is simply what snacks are. And that, I think, is the most German thing about all of them. No drama, no performance, just good food, honestly made, eaten without ceremony. We are very simple people, really, with 3,200 kinds of bread. If this video made you want to find a German bakery, or at least Google what Griebenschmalz looks like, leave me a like. It helps more than you know. Subscribe if you are new. We cover everything from food and culture to history and the genuinely surprising connections between Germany and America. And leave me a comment. Which of these 8 snacks would you actually try? And which one is a hard no? I want to know. I will not judge. I might judge a little about the lard. Guten Appetit. Tschüss. Bis bald.